Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Courtney Lockerbie and James Washington. The two of you have been living together for 4 years. You do not want to live together anymore. Ms. Lockerbie, you say because of the economic dysfunction in your household, you have been forced to spend $1,965, which is your half of the mess that's been made economically, and we'll talk about that momentarily. But before we do, I'm going to start with you, Ms. Lockerbie. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your living situation and why you're seeking to end it today?
Me and James have lived together for 4 years. For the first year, James had paid the rent on his own whenever I first moved in with him. Now,
and I want to make something clear. You're 22, so you were 18 when you moved in with him, correct?
Correct.
And you were 30 at the time.
Correct, close.
Okay. He was paying all the rent in the beginning when you first moved in.
so I didn't have to worry about anything. Now we have communication problems. We used to be able to communicate. Now we can't communicate. Our bills have been unpaid. We're behind of 3 months rent now. He can't keep a job. He forces me to get up in the morning, make him coffee, make him breakfast in the morning. He should be able to get up on his own.
Are you both working now, or is he still the sole breadwinner?
No, I had quit my job because his dad had decided not to take me to work anymore.
So his dad was taking you to work. That's how you were getting to work.
Yes.
So you had to quit your job because he wouldn't do that anymore.
Correct.
And now that you've quit your job and he's going to work, you don't want to get up and get him some coffee? Is this what you're telling me?
No, he's 34 years old. He should be able to do that on his own. I shouldn't have to get him up every day for work.
Well, what is your job in the relationship? What do you do?
I am looking for a job.
But in the meantime, in between time, could you give him some creature comforts? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Mr. Washington, is that what you're seeking, creature comforts?
I'm not seeking creature comfort, Your Honor. I mean, if you're not working and you can't get up in the morning just to help me get my lunch and help me get the small things ready to alleviate a little bit of my stress throughout the day, then, I mean, whenever you're not working, why would I help you? It's common. If we're in a relationship, we should be helping each other. It shouldn't be my responsibility to be the sole breadwinner or my responsibility to be the sole person to do the laundry or do anything by myself.
Right. I agree with him. If one person's working, the other person needs to help out the person who is working. Let me ask you this. Did the stress start in the relationship when she was unable to get to her job? Is that when everything went south?
I mean, it's not just that. When it went south when you're not going to continue to do the little things that you promised to do. Such as whenever we kept one of the kittens throughout. I had a male kitten, she wanted a female kitten, we wanted to have a litter. We both agreed if we keep the runt kitten, she would clean the litter. And we kept it, and the litter goes unclean. If you agree to something to do it, follow through with doing it.
You guys are struggling paying rent. What you doing having a cat?
3 cats, Your Honor.
What you doing with 3 cats?
They're going to be going to a shelter if we don't have a home to live.
Why did she lose her job? Was it because she could no longer get there? She didn't have transportation?
It's not just transportation. It's not my dad's responsibility to take. And if the bus goes a half a mile from the job site and then you have to walk a half mile, that's small district. It's a small distance to walk.
Ms. Lockerbie, was there public transportation that could have taken you to the job?
No, Your Honor. The public transportation only goes a certain amount of distance. And I would have to walk approximately 2.5 miles to get to the job site.
But
I walk that every morning. You're 22 years old. You can't walk 2.5 miles. If 2.5 miles of walking was between me and a paycheck, I'd be like, all on. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to work. You're young, Ms. Lockerbie. How come you ended up moving in with a guy that was 30 years old when you were 18? What was going on in your life?
He had it going for himself. He had a job. He was working overtime. He was a supervisor. He was paying all of his bills on time.
So was it solely an economic situation?
No, I was in school at the time. I could get on my feet, go back to school, make more money in life. And
so had you been struggling beforehand?
no.
You were doing fine.
I was doing fine.
I'm trying to make you look sympathetic here, and you're making it hard for me, Mrs. Lockerbie. You're telling me you moved in with him because it was financially feasible or worth your while.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, he was a good man. He was paying all of his bills. He was even going back to school. He even quit going back to school. I finished school and he quit going back to school.
I quit going back to school so you could further your education. It's not like I just quit going back to school because I wanted to quit. I quit because I had to pick up extra responsibility for you to be in my house. Not
Mr. Washington, let me ask you this. Did you have any concerns when you decided to live with an 18-year-old? Because 18 is awfully young.
I mean, I had a lot of concerns. I mean, the immaturity, you know, as far as not having bills ever in your name, not keeping a job.
Do you guys care about each other at all? All we've been talking about is money. She moved in for money. You were worried about the issue. She never paid any bills before. Is it the idea of living together with somebody? In part, it's a business thing. You have to deal with your finances. But because you cared about one another, was that ever an issue?
I mean, I love her to death. I still love her. I took a roofing job that's below with what I usually make, just so that way I can try to alleviate some of the stress from her life. I mean, I don't want to break up with her, but if I have to pay all the bills myself and rely on everything myself, it's not just bills. Love isn't going to pay a bill. Love isn't going to keep me off of a street.
Ms. Lockerbie, do you understand his concerns? Do you realize that you guys are behind on your bills and stuff?
Yes, I realize we are behind on our bills. And he's 34 years old. He should be that responsible person that he once was and go to work
So I should pay all the bills again once by myself?
I got it. You understand that? I don't want to hear about a bill. I don't want to hear about a job. I don't want to hear about payments, okay? You say that Ms. Lockerbie is inconsiderate. Why don't you tell me what you mean by that?
She's so very inconsiderate and selfish. I get off of work, she picks me up, and it's hot out in Pittsburgh. It's like 90 degrees. So I get in the truck. She doesn't even tell me where we're going. So I assume we're going home. You know, I close my eyes. I wake up. We're in a parking lot, and she's like, "I'll be right back." It's a doctor's office. She goes in. 15 minutes go by. I text her. She's like, "Oh, it'll be not too much longer." 45 minutes goes by. I'm like, I'll just start cleaning the truck, and then I fall asleep. 3 hours later, she comes back out talking about she got the job offer. She can't wait to start Monday. Like, I don't know whether to be like, you're inconsiderate and congratulations, I just sat in the car for 3 hours, or just walk away from her. Like, she's inconsiderate.
Well, it seems like an odd thing to do, not to tell him that you had a job interview. How do you say that particular situation transpired?
That's a lie, Your Honor. I did tell him that it was a job interview that I was going to. He was supposed to go to work and took that decision to let me go to the job interview and not to work. He could have went to work beforehand.
What do you mean I could have went to work beforehand? I work roofing.
Who's doing all the partying?
It's not just me doing the partying. It takes two to tango.
Does she complain about how much partying you do?
She doesn't complain. There's no communication. Like, she doesn't complain. She doesn't talk about things. She doesn't tell me a bill is due. She doesn't tell me I got mail from a bill company. Like, I gotta go find the bills. I gotta go find my tools. Like, I left my tools one time in the house, and she puts them in the bar. This is how inconsiderate she is. She puts them in the bar. So all my tools are always in the basement. Always in the basement.
She puts them in the bar?
She puts them in, like, the double bar doors. So I'm looking I can't find them. I don't have time all morning to look for my tools. So I had to go to work without them. And then,
did you ask her where are my tools?
She doesn't answer the phone. Like, that's what we have cell phones for.
I thought you were in the same house.
She wasn't home when I'm going to work.
Oh, she had put them somewhere, and she wouldn't answer the phone. Are you less than responsible when it comes to, making sure that the household runs and everybody gets where they need to be and has what they need to have?
Yes, Your Honor. I used to make his lunch for him the day before. He'll wait till the next day. He's very rude and inconsiderate. He doesn't care. He'll go and take my vehicle, for instance. He'll take my vehicle and he doesn't even have a license.
You driving without? Well, don't answer that. Don't answer that one at all. You say he's too bossy. Explain that to me.
He'll ask me to do the cat litter, and I'll say, okay, I'll do the cat litter. Next thing you know, he's downstairs doing cat litter when I said I'll be down to do it.
Because I asked you to do it, and you agreed to do it.
But it has to be done that 1 second that he wants it done.
Yeah. Well, what is it you're doing all day long? I mean, what's going on with you? What's happening at
This
your
was
house?
whenever I was working. So I'd come in for work. He asked me to do a cat litter. Next thing you know, he's down there doing the cat litter when I need to do it.
Okay. What's happening? It's all right. Well, I didn't eat. I don't know. Kind of like that because it was like that. And she kind of appears to be like that. And I'm comparing you to my son because I love my son very much. I think he's wonderful. I think he's very, very bright. But he's just kind of blowing in the wind. Was she always just blowing in the wind, or did something change once you two moved in together?
It's once I asked her to start pitching in, once we gave up an apartment that I was mainly maintaining by myself before and during our relationship. So I had all the responsibilities on me. Once we moved out of that and we get a bigger place, we would move from...
Why did you get a bigger place? How about that?
She was working at the time, and she was making good money. And we could have afforded a nicer place. 2 incomes, 1 place. We needed a bigger place with all them cats.
Let me take the opportunity to give my financial lesson 107B. You're not supposed to spend all the money that you get. You're supposed to live beneath your means. In other words, you should live in an apartment where you can survive a couple of months if you have an interruption in your income stream. So you don't buy the biggest house you can afford. What you do is you buy a house that you can comfortably afford. So the moment you get 2 incomes, you don't kick it up another notch and spend all of that. What you do is you stay where you are, you save a little money. You don't get cats and things when you barely can afford what you're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? You live beneath your means, so if times get funky, your money is still okay. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody's got to live right up to the top of it, right up to I'm making $7 more a week, so I got to spend that $7. You've got to think about your financial future and not just the right now of it. Miss Lockerbie, does that make any sense to you?
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
What are you going to do about your financial future?
I'm going to go back to work all that I can, get caught up on bills. All the bills are almost in my name.
No, all the bills aren't in your name. They're in my name. The electric's in my name. The water...
let's go down that list because this is part of what you're arguing about, and I've got to determine who's doing what. Whose name is on the lease?
Both of us.
Whose name is on the utilities?
I have the water and I have the electric.
H2O and electric.
And then the gas and the sewage is in my name.
And the gas and the sewage is in her name?
Yes.
So you pretty much split up the utilities, and you're supposed to both pay the rent, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Why do you believe you got 3 months behind? Is it simply because she lost her job?
I lost my job, and we ended up moving because I lost my job. Now, we both lost our jobs. I'm not pointing the finger at her. I'm not pointing the finger. We both need to learn responsibility, but she can't just quit a job because she doesn't like it. Just because you don't like a job doesn't make you.
Is that why you quit your job? Because you didn't like it?
No, Your Honor.
Why'd you quit your job?
Quit my job because I couldn't get to my job.
Because you didn't want to walk the 2 miles?
Yes.
Oh, why you want half of those? You think he should award half of those costs? You guys owe that money to somebody else. He certainly doesn't owe that money to you. Your financial part of the deal, you didn't even complete it. You didn't want to walk 2 miles to work, so you quit your job, hanging out at the house, won't clean up the cat litter, and won't give the man a sandwich or coffee in the morning. You've got to be grown, and you have to, and you can't move in with a man because he seems financially established. You've got to really love somebody to live with them because it's hard. It's hard even when you do love somebody. And, you know, you can love each other through the lean times, but you guys came in here and talked about nothing other than the cash. That's all you talked about because that's all you had. Mr. Washington, I put a lot of the blame on you because you were grown. She was 18. You know, I've had boys that are 18. Them and all their friends were all ridiculous people. They were silly. They didn't make good decisions. And that's okay because they were living with their mommies and daddies and we were trying to get them up and get them going somewhere. I don't know why you would rely on an 18-year-old to hold up a whole end of a meaningful relationship because she's just 18. She's just out of high school. You know what people do in high school, don't you?
Yeah.
It's Sillyville. And you pluck somebody out of Sillyville, put them in your house and expected them, you know, to be a grown woman. Ms. Lockerbie, you've got to make sure you run your life so your life doesn't run over you. You've got to make decisions that have your future in mind and that are not, and you have to be willing to jump a couple of obstacles because a 2-mile walk is going to be the least of your problems if you don't get it together. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There are people out there fighting tooth and nail to get a job, and you're going to have to fight tooth and nail too, and you're going to have to work hard. It's going to be inconvenient. It's going to be not fun. It's going to be hard to get to. Something's going to be wrong with the job because if something is wrong with it, they're not going to pay you. That's why you get paid for a job, because it's inconvenient. It's work. It's not fun. He doesn't owe you a dime. You guys owe everybody else some money. So there will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Shayla Bryant and Isaiah Martin. The two of you have been married for 2 years. You have been separated for the last several months. You decided that, I'm not sure what you've decided. I think you want to get back together, but you don't know how. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on. But what I do know is that you have 2 children together, one that is 19 months and one that is 1 month old.
Yeah.
So we have a lot at stake here. So, Ms. Bryant, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this marriage and why you're in divorce court so soon?
Well, my main reasons are the trust issues. It's going to be the trust issues as far as when it comes to...
Why don't you trust him?
Well, he's gave me reasons not to trust him as far as him feeling like it's okay to look at other females, talk to other females, and admire other females.
Now, when you say he looks and talks to other women, what do you mean?
I mean, as far as being on the internet, entertaining females with conversation as if he wants to meet up with them.
What kinds of things does he say that you think are inappropriate?
Well, he'll compliment them about how cute they look, or if saying he wants to meet up.
Oh, you lying.
Now, Mr. Martin, does any of that go on?
No.
Okay.
No, not. I can't say that. I don't be looking at girls or whatever on the internet because I'm a dude and I do look at girls on the internet. I know I'm not supposed to look at girls on the internet, but I look at girls on the internet. But what I'm not doing is I'm not going on there actually, oh, you look all good and where you at. I'm not doing all of that.
You're not hooking up.
No,
You're not making any plans. Anything other than, because the internet, boy, it's at that slippery slope and people doing this and that. They're really not doing anything bad. It's just a little tacky, a little wrong. Have you seen anything beyond that slippy social media slide that people do that would lead you to believe he's cheating on you?
No, I don't think he's ever actually met up with any of them, but him just messaging them and doing that is enough for me. I feel like if you're not doing that with me, and you're doing it with them, okay, we shouldn't be together. We shouldn't be together. I feel like maybe he's not as interested as he was in the beginning in me, and that he's more interested in other females. He says he wants something different. That's not
what kind of things does he message them, though?
Where do you live? Let's meet up. Exactly those words.
Have you said, where do you live? Let's meet up?
One time I did actually say, where you live and let's meet up. But it wasn't no, I was trying to hook up with the girl or nothing like that. Cause I'm an artist. I do music. So, you know,
what were you going to meet up to do?
I was going to meet up with the girls because I'm trying to get this modeling thing together for women. And I wanted to get these girls together so they can come in and be part of our modeling site and making magazines for girls. So I was just trying to get one of the beautiful women to come and actually be part of our magazine.
You have a magazine?
We're working on getting a magazine.
And how are you going about working on getting a magazine?
First, we got our camera. We got our money. And we're looking for a building to actually set up so we can start doing photography work and everything.
Yeah, but printing costs, distribution, advertising, any of that going on? You've got all of the makings of taking some pictures of some cute girls, but a magazine is the least of it is that. Most of it is in marketing, advertising, distribution, printing costs. Has any of that?
Nah, like I said, we actually didn't get started yet. So we're still working on it and still building on it, but I wanted to get my roster first before I got everything else.
Listen, pretty women everywhere. You got to get financing first. That's the hardest thing in the world to get. Then you got to get advertisers that are interested in that kind of magazine. Let me tell you something, Mr. Martin, and you're a rapper and all that kind of stuff, and you know, you attach yourself to things that are fun to do, and then you act like, well, I'm in the process of trying to make money off of it, when really you're just doing things that are fun to do. And a real businessman has to start with the business plan, and you don't have that. You have all of the trappings, you got all of the fun part, but the money-making part isn't there at all, and you can't keep pretending like that and get anywhere. It's a lot of fun, you know, interviewing models.
Yeah, but
anybody can do that.
But we actually working on getting all of the money started, because like I said, I'm doing shows and I'm preparating for a show.
How much money do you think it takes to start up a magazine? Is it going to be regional? Is it going to be national? Is it going to be local? Is it going to be monthly? Is it going to be semi-annual? What is your plans for this thing?
Really, it's going to be, I'm going to start off locally, because I actually have a friend that's actually doing magazines right now. And he actually is supposed to have me on his magazine cover to promote my music and my new single that's coming out. So he said he's going to help me get everything started and take me through the preparation and everything like that.
Is he making money off his magazine?
Yeah, he's making a lot of money off of his magazines. His magazines go all around the world.
With you on the cover?
Yeah, mine's supposed to be on the cover. I was supposed to do it this month, but I got to do it next month.
Ms. Bryant, I don't think he's cheating on you. I don't. I think he's playing at being a businessman in businesses that allow him to do things that any 23-year-old would like to do, which is take pictures of pretty women and rap. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. But I don't think he's cheating on you. And you and I are going to have a conversation about the nature of insecurity and jealousy and what it makes you do, and how it rips apart your day-to-day. You spend every day anxious, upset, and angry on the off chance that one day, someday down the line, he may leave. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
You're miserable every day because you're afraid you might get miserable one day. Doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
The way she dresses in public.
Yes, I do.
Tell me about how she's dressing and why you find it problematic.
I understand before we got together or whatever, she liked to dress like any girls, you know, young girls like to dress, you know, showing their stomach and, you know, showing little their legs and stuff like that. You know,
right.
That's all fine and dandy. Now, I have a problem with it when there is people that's outside of my household, mm-hmm. and now that we're married, that mm-hmm. you're dressing like that, and we have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. My daughters is watching you dress. I don't want my daughters dressing like that.
She's watching your videos too.
Yeah, she was watching my videos. She do be watching my videos. Yeah. But it starts from the mom.
What is she doing watching your videos?
She talking about the music videos that I be watching.
And do you have women in there scantily clad doing the twerk?
Yeah, I do. I do.
I don't dance in front of my daughter.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that in front of her.
What do you say about the clothing issue? Do you think you dress in a manner that you would like your daughter to dress?
Well, I've actually changed the way I've dressed because of him. You know, when I met him, I will admit I was pretty bad because my mom used to complain. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I've changed because I know he doesn't like it. But
you still be trying a little slick stuff, though.
But as far as like what he's talking about is, I'll be in the house in a comfortable wear, and he'll bring someone, and I won't know that they're coming, so he'll expect me to leave the room and go change, which I do sometimes, but sometimes I'm not thinking about it for the simple fact is that's what I was wearing. You know, I'm not thinking about it.
Right. The only thing I would have to say to both of you in this regard is that children do what they see you doing, not what they tell you to do. So to the extent that you're dressed in a little funny and the extent that you are bringing home videos where women are seen as sexual objects, you are both telling your children, your daughters, both of them are girls?
Yes.
You're telling your daughters this is what you do to be of value. And you got to be careful about that because everything you do speaks to her in very solid terms. I'm just saying that to both of you so we don't get confused. You say he's rude and disrespectful to you. What do you mean by that?
He'll have his earbuds in 24/7 to the point where if I'm sitting like this talking to him, he still has the earphones. I'm like, do you hear me? He takes them out. Do you see me listening to music? I'm sitting trying to listen. I can't even listen to my music while you're sitting here talking to me. Well, I'm trying to tell you, help me with this. So I'm trying to say we need to do this, or we need to go this place, something important, more important than your music, the song you've heard 100 times already. So that to me is rude.
Mr. Martin, your response to that?
Man, all I can say is I was wrong for, telling her or not listening to her. I own up to that part.
Okay.
I do listen to my music. I am a big fan of music. I love listening to my music and, I won't do that no more.
Ooh, Mr. Martin, I like that. I rarely get that in here. A moment of clarity right away. I don't have to beat you about the head to get there. And you said you were sorry. Good for you. Grown man attitude. I love that. You're concerned, Ms. Bryant, that as a rapper, if he does actually make it, he'll go on the road. Isn't that a self-defeating prophecy for your marriage? Because his only line of business is the one that would drive you absolutely mad.
Well, it's fine if he goes on the road, but I want to be able to trust him on the road. Because if you're not doing things I can trust you with while you're home, what are you doing when you're away?
Well, what would he need to do at home to allow you to trust him on the road?
To cut out the internet?
I don't watch the booties no more.
Well, first of all, if he's going to be if he's an aspiring rapper, he can't cut out the internet because social media is important. Right?
Yeah, but as far as the videos of watching girls twerking on YouTube and stuff like that, that needs to be cut out. Okay. I can't trust him if he's doing that.
All right. We all know I got a problem with booties. Okay. We all know that.
Okay.
I don't do it no more.
We got that part.
Yeah, we was staying with our grandma and her peoples for a minute now. Me working on my career, trying to get back my record deal that I lost 2 years ago. I'm trying to get back to the point to where I was at once before. So we've been staying with her. I haven't been working a real job, 9 to 5, but I take my job very seriously because I made it once before, fresh out of high school, signed. And, I feel like I don't want to go working paycheck to paycheck when I signed for $200,000 fresh out of high school. Like, I can't go back to doing that. So I know that I can make it. I just got to prep myself with doing what I need to do. And we got into it with our grandma for the simple fact is her grandmother is always, I feel like, is always like putting me down as far as not having a real job. And she's always, I know she's concerned about her granddaughter and the family, but at the same time, how are you going to talk bad about me or look down on me? And when I have the gigs or when I have the shows with the venues and the money is there under the contract, you're not doing anything in your power to really help me get there. But you're constantly talking bad about my music. Like, oh, yeah, you're doing her music. You call yourself a rapper, but where's the income at?
Yeah, because the thing is this, if you want to do your music, you need to be able to help what you want to do. You do what you need to do before you do what you want to do. You get a job so that you can pay for those studio sessions. You get a job so that you can go to those shows, so that you can get a car and you can go to those shows. You have to help yourself.
Okay, now that's exactly what I want to talk. But very, very bright. That's exactly what I say. Yeah, you know what I mean? If you're single and you're an aspiring rapper, you can spend every minute of every day doing what you want to do. But what you did is you got somebody pregnant twice and married them. Now you have obligations, and it's not her grandmother's duty to make sure that you get to where you're going or it's your job.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what you signed up for. And whether or not it's a direct path, just because you had a contract once for $200,000 does not mean that you can never take a job for anything less than that. And that taking a job for $10 an hour is beneath you, because feeding your children is never beneath you. Mm-hmm. So, okay. And I understand the allure of that, but deals come and go all the time. And once you have responsibilities, you can still aspire, but you have to do the daily in addition to that. And that's why grandma's mad. Because I can tell you, if my granddaughter was in my house with a dude and 2 kids and not working, you'd have heard from me. A whole lot, all day, every day. If I'm feeding you, putting a roof over your head, and you got earbuds a bopping about, we're gonna have words. And all of them gonna be ugly. I think you're a good dude. I don't think you're cheating on her. I don't think you have any intentions of cheating on her. I don't think you're playing at being a rapper. I think you are actually aspiring to do those things. You're not just making beats with your buddies in the basement and leaving it there. And I honestly believe that. But what do you think you could do to save this marriage? Because she's what? 19. What do you think you could do to make your situation a better one?
I'm gonna be a man.
That's too vague.
I'm gonna be a young man, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to take care of my family.
Are you gonna work? Get a job right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a job.
9 to 5.
I don't want no 9 to 5, but I'm gonna get a job.
Yeah. Just because, my father worked in a linoleum factory. He had a doctorate in law because he had to feed people. You know what I mean?
You see, Your Honor, I've even offered if he wants to work on his music and record and stay at home.
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Well, I'm saying I can work while he stays.
Well, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk, what are you willing to do to make this a workable relationship?
Well, like I said, I'm willing to work myself. If he wants to work on his music, I'll work while he works on his music and takes care of the kids, because, I'm not going to be able to with working. I'm willing to do anything to fix this relationship. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've put a lot of time into it. So I'm willing to do anything, and he knows that. I've tried everything with him. But it seems like when I talk to him, it's like, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it. But then a week later, or we argue, and I did it because we were arguing. Mm-hmm. You can't just do stuff because we weren't arguing about anything like that. Right. So so you have a personal vendetta?
It's the I'm going to do me response to you giving me issues, so I'm going to do whatever I want to in response. Listen, let me do this. You guys are 19 years old. You're 19. You're 23. I'm going to send you to the show counselor here to get you started, because I think you have the basis for a good marriage. You need some counseling, and you need to grow up a little bit, and you need to learn how to be married. There's a way to be married. There's a way to talk to people and have communications and resolve things, because there's nothing here that isn't fixable. Nothing here that isn't fixable. But you have to be able to talk like 2 adults. So we're going to do that, right? We're not going to give up. You're going to get a job. You're going to get quiet about the jealousy, because none of that's going on. Don't make yourself, him and you, miserable every day about something that might happen someday, because it hasn't happened yet. You got me?
Yes.
You got me? Good luck to both of you. This matter is adjourned. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Michael Robinson and Kimberly Robinson. The 2 of you have been married for 4 years. My understanding, however, is that you 2 met way back in school when you were young, and you kind of rekindled your union a little later on. So why don't you tell me how that worked out?
Well, again, we met each other when we were in middle school, and right off the bat, I think we had a connection that probably be akin to soulmates. I know we don't like that analogy, but we felt like we were, compatible at that age, and we engaged in a mature relationship. Needless to say, it was unfortunate. We lost contact around that time, and we lost contact for 18 years. And she was able to locate me later on social media. And right off the bat, we rekindled our relationship as if it had never ended, because, again, we did have that connection throughout that time. And so I guess She basically came up to live with me 2 months after we rekindled our relationship, and within 5 months we were married. And everything seemed to be going fine, but again, because of her personality, a lot of arguments and basically controlling issues led to, increased just not getting along.
Okay. Ms. Robinson, you want to co-sign on that story, or do you see it a little differently?
I see it a little differently.
Tell me what you think happened.
I think we rushed into a relationship, being that we were together when we were younger. I think we could have had enough time to try to get to know each other as adults. It was rush. Mm-hmm. As far as the marriage, I was willing to.
Who was rushing the most? Who wanted to put a ring on it?
Michael.
Was it you or was it him?
It was Michael.
Was it you, Mr. Robinson?
That's not accurate. We both, had expressed that this is what we wanted. My situation with the marriage was more of a legal insurance aspect, and hers was more of, if we're going to be doing this, we need to make it legitimate.
Right.
Which I was in line for.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
What do you say?
I say when he came to West Palm Beach to pick me up to come stay with him in Tallahassee, we showed up at the marriage license place. It was more of a, I know we want to do this. Here it is now. Let me swipe the card. Let's sign our names. If nothing else, I can put you on my insurance in March.
Mr. Robinson, I tend to believe her, and I tend to believe her for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One of it is because of the language that you use.
Okay.
We had that instant connection and a mature relationship in middle school.
It's true.
Yeah, no, it's not true, because if it were true, we wouldn't be here today. Anybody can be attracted to somebody else. Attraction is often mistaken for something that is much more deep and more meaningful. And I think that it often happens when people reconnect on social media. They remember the attraction part, but have no earthly idea of who that other person really is. You remember the feeling that they elicited in you, but you don't know them. Because I remember middle school. Right? I was a complete lunatic in middle school. So, and the woman that I am now, and so I think you believed that, and I think as a function of that, because that's the story you tell, as a function of that, you thought it was kind of meant to be, so you did with the rush. I'm not asking for opinion, I'm just telling you how it is. What were the problems in your relationship with him?
My relationship with Michael has been emotionally abusive, verbally abusive.
And tell me the kinds of things that he says to you.
He says that I deserve what I get because of the way I am with my personality. I'm very strong-willed. I want to settle problems right away, and he would rather leave them lingering out there, which frustrates me and have me become angry. Things like that.
Well, I don't know if that's verbally abusive. You deserve you're loud and crazy and you break
More
stuff,
like,
so good enough for you.
His family members to be verbally disrespectful towards me, and that would cause me to be angry. I would look for him.
When you say verbally disrespectful, you have to give me some examples.
Like calling me out of my name, making me feel like I'm not wanted or welcome.
You're talking about how you're feeling. You're not giving me examples of what has been said.
I was visiting him before we got married with his family members, and she called me a thief. She called me whores and stuff like that at the top of her lungs.
Okay.
I hadn't done anything wrong. I just heard the screaming, and I was hoping that Michael would at least protect me and tell her, okay, well, she doesn't deserve that.
Right. Did he not defend you at all?
At all. Not at all.
Okay. Mr. Robinson, do you have any recollection of that event?
I actually do, and again, like I said, I'm sorry, but it's just a mischaracterization of how it went down. The family member in question did do those things, and I did confront my family member on those, but right when in that particular environment, I tried to de-escalate it, and I just got us out of there. That's why she didn't witness me standing up for her, quote unquote.
Those are things that other people said to you. You say he was verbally abusive to you, and I have yet to see that. Why don't you tell me what he says or does that is abusive to you?
He calls me a slut.
That's simply not true. I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
He says that my job, working from home, doing hair, is not a real job. That, I don't have a right to say anything because I'm not clocking in and out, but I've been a stylist since I was 15, unofficially, and I became a stylist officially in 2013. And he did not come to my graduation. He wanted to cause a fight that morning to go to work, and he basically left me alone when I really needed him the most.
Okay. Now, you say that you're a very strong person and then you go into tirades. Is part of these name-calling things mutual in nature?
Yes, it can be. At
So
times.
he calls you out of your name when you guys are arguing,
Yes.
which is, to me, it means you guys you're getting into it, but it's not a situation where he's just always at you and on you and making you feel less than by emotionally beating you up. I don't see that. You calling her names and being and claiming that what she does for a living is not really a real job. What is your response to that?
Actually, you used the word mutual. I would say the beratement, degrading of one's character is actually not even mutual. It's more unilateral from her to me. That's not how I communicate. I normally try to back the situation up or be silent. But as far as her stating about the job situation, I never degraded her about it. I just said, in order for us to succeed and move forward, we both have to be kind of in a joint effort toward that. And her feeling like she can hustle and do a few hair jobs here and there contributes towards paying bills, which she has not done. I'd say that that's not true. Now, I didn't say that that was anything wrong with her about it. I just said, look, this is what we need.
We need a little more. You need to step up your economic game in order for us to remain.
Staying with us where I've been contributing for everyone, every place we've had, that we've lost, every car that we've had that we've lost, it's been on my shoulders.
That's not true.
She has not contributed to that effort.
Well, have you been while you were married to him, have you been in an economic perilous situation?
Somewhat. In the situation he's talking about where he's shouldering everything, that's not true. I have gotten lump sums of money, $2,000 here, $47,100 here and there, to sit with him and talk to him about the things that we should do. He would take my money and put it on a credit card that I don't have access to. So
how does he take your money? I mean, if you've got a bank account,
you put it and says, "Hey, can we go do this?" And it doesn't happen. The car that he bought it for himself. The car dealership told him, take your wife and go get y'all a nice brand new car. He dropped me off home.
What do you do to secure your economic situation? I understand you get lump sums here and there.
That was in
but that's not. But do you do anything to create steady money that one could feel comfortable that they have a secure future?
If he secures the house and I'm making money and I'm buying groceries, I feel like that's contributing. If I buy towels and sheets and stuff for the house, I feel like that's contributing. I don't feel like I have to split the bills straight down the middle in order to contribute to the house. If the house is running smoothly, it's clean, the house is running the way it should.
So what are you angry with him about?
I'm angry because he's very selfish. He's very manipulative.
In what way? Give me examples of selfishness or how he manipulates you.
Well, he doesn't like to share his money with me. I don't know how much he makes. He definitely wants to know how much I make. He would like me to hand over my money to him and sit quietly while he handles everything.
Do you believe that you should handle all the money and you ask her to give you all the money and you dole it out?
No, not in any way, shape, or form. And again, our relationship started kind of with a mutual responsibility. I even allowed her access to my credit cards, checking accounts, and everything.
You picked a place that I didn't want to live in.
And, again, that trust was misused time after time. So it got to a situation where whatever I'm doing, yes, I'm doing it unilaterally. But as far as whatever she makes, I was hoping that we would combine our resources, and it never went to that. Yes, she got money here and there, but her money was for her, for hair, for smoking, for whatever other, indulgences she wanted, but I was supposed to provide the base.
I just don't understand why you two got married. It didn't seem like it was ever any good. It was the memory of an 8th grade romance that put you hand in hand. I don't see any common goals. I don't see any commonality. I don't see any things were going good, but this happened. It was jacked up from jump.
It was jacked up from jump, yes.
Well, why did you get married? I asked her, why did you get married?
We really did have a desire to be, on a life trajectory together. We really did. And for me,
I could have waited for the marriage.
If you allow me to finish my one point. I know that she had been through a lot of things in those 18 years, but I felt like our love was going to transcend that and that I would be able to compensate. And I think it was a little arrogant, and in fact, very arrogant on my part. So I felt like we had enough to make it work, and I was wrong.
But was there anything positive going on between the two of you since you got back together that would indicate that that grand 8th grade love trajectory that you were on was real?
Yes.
No.
And we still had that same connection we had when we were kids. Intimately, there's no problems between us. She's a very good, parent and friend. I mean, we have good times, but, we're focusing on the negative, what went wrong. Mm-hmm. And so to clarify what went right, I would just say that, we felt good about one another. I mean, she can say no, but I think we actually did. And that's why we stayed together for so long, even when those problems were apparent, in the very beginning.
How did you handle the problems as the years went by? Did they accelerate?
They just festered. They all festered. Nothing really got resolved when it comes to coming together and finding out where we're going to put our roots down at. I wanted my mom to be at my wedding. I want her to be at my graduation, and he would sabotage all those things.
How and why would he sabotage that kind of thing?
I just don't think he really wanted me to have my family together, as far as my mom, my kids, and them being able to enjoy that part of my life. So how did he sabotage your mom coming to your graduation? He picked a fight that morning instead of us riding to Miami to pick my mother up.
Did you not go to her graduation?
Your Honor, she's trying to bombard with, details about things that's not even really an issue here.
That's the issue
I really
for me.
did want to go. I just was on my grind as far as wanting to work that day, and you come pick me up when we're about ready to go, and she basically made it to where she was actually gone and wasn't able to pick me up.
I
was devastated because I contributed money, I contributed time, I even helped her study. I mean, it's something that I wanted to, but
did he do that?
He helped me study, but I was already studying, so he just helped me practice for tests. I'm an A student regardless.
That's all a person can do.
But he already had that day off. He called in that morning, and I already explained to him that I wanted him to be there the whole day with me, help me get ready, because I had never
So because she didn't get her way, that's how it all went down. And that's characteristically how she operates. Even leading up to the situation that I think we're here for today about her equipment, it's always a situation where if she doesn't get her way, everything breaks down. And that's why I don't think that we have a future.
Ms. Robinson, I'm going to say this to you. I think you were looking for Prince Charming to come in and solve your life. Yes. You were looking for
a best friend.
We had
Ms. Robinson, I'm trying to speak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You were looking for a guy who was going to make it all right, and he's going to have the money, and it's going to be straight. You can do what you want to do. You're going to have support. You're going to have friendship. You're going to have love. He's going to be your soulmate. He's going to be your everything. It's all going to work out. It's all going to resolve. And the minute you didn't get exactly what you wanted or exactly what you needed, it just outraged you. And I think you wanted too much. And you wanted it to be too perfect too soon. And the fact that it didn't happen that way, it made you angry and disgruntled, and you remain so today, and you remain angry over little things. Do you know what I'm saying? So he didn't want to spend the whole day with you at your graduation.
Did.
It was filing equipment. Mr. Robinson, what happened to her equipment?
What ended up happening was because of her chaotic personality, she ended up quitting her job and then staying with another one of my family members. And I had some of her equipment at the place where I was staying, but she actually demanded, bring all my stuff, repeatedly. So I was like, okay, you have all your stuff. Then she's staying with my other family, and she brought chaos to that family member as well. So then she had to leave from that family member. So I don't know what happened with her belongings, but it wasn't anything that I...
Did you end up living with another set of family members of his?
No, actually they dropped me off. They didn't tell me I was going to be staying there.
Right. But when you initially asked him for the equipment, when he had it, did he bring it to you?
Yeah, after about a week after he went through my stuff.
So whoever has your equipment, it isn't him. It's somebody in his family. You said he brought it to you.
He brought me my clothes and stuff like that, but he had already went through whatever he wanted to go through before he brought it to me, and I lost a lot of my stuff in that.
Yeah, okay. I don't believe her.
It's not true.
I don't believe her. Ms. Robinson, I'm worried about you a little bit. I think you have very unrealistic expectations. I think you have anger issues, security issues, and I think that you need to take, I mean, I know you're in a tough situation, and I'm not quite sure if there's anything we can do to help you. I'm going to send you somebody to try to get started, but you need to make better decisions about your life and be responsible for what happens to you and get the important things taken care of first. Whether or not your mother was at your wedding, whoop-de-doo, my mother wasn't at mine. She was my best friend, and she wasn't at mine. Those kind of things are not something you drag along with you through the rest of your life and get torn up about. And I think he was being a reasonable person, and I think that when your unrealistic expectations don't get met, you do the crazy dance, and it was too much. And I wish you the best. And I know you don't believe me. I'm going to send you to talk to somebody, so maybe we can get you started a little bit and help. But Mr. Robinson, I believed everything that you said, but you need to let go of that soulmate nonsense. That's what got you in this jackpot. Right there. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हैं हम सब? उम्मीद है आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। कोरंटी बामुकाबला जेम्स कोरंटी लॉकरबी कमरा अदालत में दाखिल हुई तो उसके और उसके बॉयफ्रेंड जेम्स वाशिंगटन के दरमियान जो मायूसी थी उसे नज़रअंदाज करना नामुमकिन। सिर्फ 22 साल की उम्र में कोरंटी 34 साल जेम्स के साथ रह रही थी और उसके मुताबिक ये रिश्ता पैसे, जिम्मेदारियों और घर के इर्द गिर्द कौन क्या कर रहा था की वजह से मुकम्मल तौर पर टूट चुका था। कोर्टनी ने वजाहत की कि जेम्स ने अपने पहले साल के दौरान एक साथ किराया अदा किया था, लेकिन अब उसने दावा किया है कि वो नौकरी पर कायम नहीं रह सकता था और उसे इस सूरत हाल से मायूस कर दिया गया था। उसने ये काम भी शिकायत की कि जेम्स हर सुबह काफ़ी और नाश्ते की तवक्को करता है, लेकिन जज ने बड़ी तस्वीर को देखना शुरू किया तो कुछ फ़ौरन ही सामने आ गया। कोर्टनी ने जेम्स के साथ उस वक्त चली गई जब वो सिर्फ 18 साल की थी, जबकि जेम्स 30 साल की थी। जेम्स की कहानी का अपना पहलू था। उसने दावा किया कि उसने अपनी नौकरी छोड़ दी थी ताकि वो कोर्टनी स्कूल पर तवज्जो दे सके, लेकिन अब उसके मुताबिक वो भी काम नहीं कर रही थी और उसे ऐसा लगा जैसे वो ज़्यादातर जिम्मेदारियां निभा रहा। कोर्टनी ने नौकरी ना होने की वजाहत ने जज को मुतासर नहीं किया। उसने कहा कि अवामी नकल व हमल तकरीबन 2.5 मील दूर है और इतनी दूर पैदल चलने को तैयार नहीं। जज का जवाब सीधा था। कोर्टनी की उम्र 22 साल थी और 2.5 मील पैदल चलना नामुमकिन था, लेकिन दलीलें वहीं रह गईं। फिर बिल्ली के कूड़े का मसला आ गया। जैम ने वजाहत की कि कोर्टनी ने उसे साफ करने का वादा किया था, लेकिन बार बार ऐसा करने में नाकाम रहा और घर में 3 बिल्लियों के साथ जज ने ये नहीं समझा कि वो 3 जानवरों की देखभाल की जिम्मेदारी उठाते हुए किराया अदा करने में किस तरह जद्दोजहद कर रहे हैं। जज ने वाज़ेह सवाल किया कि अगर वो किराया नहीं दे सकते तो उनके पास 3 बिल्लियाँ क्यों हैं। फिर कोर्टनी ने एक बयान दिया कि जिससे ताल्लुकात में एक और भी गहरे मसले को बेनकाब किया। उसने एतराफ़ किया कि जेम्स के साथ जाने की वजह यह थी कि वो माली तौर पर मुस्तकिल था, लेकिन अब जबकि उसके माली हालात बदल चुके हैं तो उसकी तवक्कुआत भी थीं। जज ने फ़ौरन मसले को समझा, मसला को पहचान लिया और कोर्टनी हर चीज़ से बढ़कर माली तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की तवक्को रखते हुए ताल्लुकात में दाखिल हुए और उनकी शराकत की बुनियाद पहले ही मुश्किल थी और उनके दरमियान बातचीत ज़्यादातर बेहतर नहीं थी। जेम्स एक दिन बयान किया कि उसे यकीन था कि वो एक साथ घर जा रहे हैं। सिर्फ कोर्टनी ने के लिए डॉक्टर के लिए दफ्तर जाना और घंटों गायब रहना। जब वो आखिरकार वापस आई तो उसने बताया कि उसे नौकरी मिल गई है। उससे पहले कि उसके साथ उसके बारे में कोई बात किए बगैर जज के नज़दीक ये बातचीत की मुकम्मल नाकामी की वजाहत और आवाज़ें अलामत थी कि कोर्टनी ताहम जेम्स पर कंट्रोलिंग और बॉस होने का इल्ज़ाम लगाया। उसने शिकायत की कि उसे मसला मुसलसल बताया कि क्या करना है, ख़ास तौर पर जब बात बिल्ली के कूड़े को साफ़ करने की हो। उसके मुताबिक अगर वो काफ़ी तेज़ नहीं थी तो जेम्स आसानी से खुद कर लेगा। जज ने दोबारा ही वही नमूना देखा। ये दोनों एक दूसरे की बात नहीं सुन रहे थे और ना ही एक दूसरे शख्स को नुक्ता नज़र को समझते थे। फिर एक अजीब और वजीब कशमकश। जेम्स ने दावा किया कि कोर्टनी ने अपने काम के औजार एक बार में छुपा रखे थे, जिसकी वजह से वो उन्हें काम पर ले जाने से कासर रहा। उस वक्त जज ने गुफ्तगू को उनके मालियात की तरफ मोड़ दिया। सबक आसान था और उन्हें अपने वसाइल से बाहर रहना छोड़ने की ज़रूरत थी, यहाँ तक कि वो دو لوگ پیسے کما رہے تھے، انہیں اپنے اخراجات کا انتظام کرنا اور ہنگامی حالات کے لیے تیار کرنا سکھا رہے تھے۔ آخر کار جج نے ان دونوں کے سننے کے ضرورت کا پیغام پہنچایا۔ کورٹنی کی مزید ذمہ داری لینے کی ضرورت تھی، نوکری تلاش کریں اور گھر میں حصہ ڈالیں۔ جیمز بھی اپنا کردار ادا کرنے کی ضرورت تھی، جس میں ضرورت پڑنے پر کافی بنانے جیسے آسان چیز بھی شامل تھی، کیونکہ یہ واقعہ بلی کی گندگی، ناشتہ، یہاں تک کہ کرایہ کے بارے میں نہیں تھا، یہ شراکت داری کے بارے میں تھا۔ کورٹنی کا $1965 کا دعویٰ بالآخر مسترد کر دیا گیا۔ جج نے نوٹ کیا کہ کورٹنی گھریلو بل ادا نہیں کر رہی تھی اور اسے کچھ بھی نہیں دیا گیا۔ آخر کار یہ رشتہ ناپختہ فیصلوں، ناقص مواصلات اور دو ایسے لوگوں کی وجہ سے تباہ ہو رہا تھا جن کی اپنی ذات سے زیادہ تر ایک دوسرے کی خامیوں پر توجہ تھی۔ کورٹنی ایک فراہم کنندہ سے مالی تحفظ چاہتے ہوئے دکھائی دیا۔ جیمز ایسا ساتھی چاہیے تھا جس سے ذمہ داری کا اشتراک ہو، لیکن نہ ہی وہ حاصل ہوا اور جو چاہیے تھا، کیونکہ دونوں میں سے کوئی بھی رشتہ اس وقت تک آگے نہیں بڑھ سکتا تھا جب تک وہ دونوں بڑے ہونے، بات چیت کرنے اور ٹیم کی طرح کام کرنا شروع کرنے کے لیے تیار نہ ہوں۔ دوستو، آج کی ایپیسوڈ کیسی لگی اپنی رائے کمنٹس میں ضرور دیجیے۔ ہیلو دوستو، کیسے آپ؟ اس ڈرامہ کے نئی ایپیسوڈ کے ساتھ شیلا بمقابلہ یسیہ۔ جب شیلا کمرہ عدالت میں چلی گئیں تو ایسا لگتا تھا کہ جذبات تقریباً ہر چیز کو چلا رہا ہے، لیکن جو اس نے کہا عدم تحفظ۔ شیلا کے مطابق ایک شوہر جیسا مارٹا نے اس کی وفاداری پر سوال اٹھانے کے لیے اسے سنگین وجوہات بتائیں۔ اس نے اس پر الزام لگایا کہ وہ دوسری خواتین سے آن لائن بات کرتا ہے اور پیغام بھیجتا ہے کہ انہیں ملنا چاہیے، لیکن یسیہ کے پاس ایک وضاحت تھی۔ اس نے دعویٰ کیا کہ اس کے ایک فنکار ہے اور ماڈلنگ میگزین کے لیے خواتین کو بھرتی کرنے کی کوشش کر رہا ہے۔ جج صاحبان وضاحت سے قائل نہیں ہوئے۔ جج نے نشاندہی کی کہ ایسا لگتا ہے کہ وہ کسی حقیقی میگزین کے لیے مالی امانت نہیں رکھتا تھا اور لگتا ہے کہ وہ سنجیدہ کاروباری پہلو سے زیادہ خیال کے خوشگوار حصوں پر مرکوز ہے۔ پھر بھی شیلا کو یقین تھا کہ اس کی تعریفیں بھی ایک حد سے تجاوز کر گئیں۔ اگر یسیہ نے دوسری عورت کو بتایا کہ وہ پیاری لگ رہی ہیں تو شیلا نے اسے دھوکہ دہی کے طور پر دیکھا۔ جج نے اختلاف کیا۔ جو کچھ پیش آیا ہے اس کی بنیاد پر جج نے یہ نتیجہ اخذ کیا کہ یسیہ کو دھوکہ دے رہا تھا، اور اس کے بجائے جج نے شیلا کو عدم تحفظ اور ایک ایسی چیز کے طور پر دیکھنا جو اسے دکھی بنا رہی تھی اور شادی پر بہت زیادہ دباؤ ڈال رہی تھی۔ لیکن یسیہ بھی تنقید سے آزاد نہیں تھا۔ اس نے شیلا کے لباس کے بارے میں شکایت کرتے ہوئے کہا کہ اس کے کچھ کپڑوں سے اس کے پیٹ اور ٹانگیں دکھائی دیتی ہیں، یہ ان کی بیٹی دیکھ رہی ہے۔ شیلا نے وضاحت کی کہ وہ پہلے ہی تبدیلیاں کر چکی تھی اور وہ اپنے گھر میں آرام محسوس کرنا چاہتی تھی۔ اس مایوسی اور اس وقت بڑھ گئی جب یسیہ مہمانوں کو اپنے ارد گرد لایا اور اس سے توقع کی کہ وہ فوری طور پر ان کے لباس کو تبدیل کر دے گی۔ جج نے دونوں کو بلایا اور بچے دیکھتے ہیں، اسے سیکھتے ہیں، ان کے اعمال، برتاؤ اور ایک دوسرے کے ساتھ برتاؤ سب ایک مثال قائم کر رہے تھے۔ پھر سائلہ نے ایک اور شکایت انکشاف کیا۔ اس نے کہا کہ یسیہ بدتمیز ہو سکتا ہے اور ریڈز میں ڈالے گا اور موسیقی گانے اور اسے نظر انداز کر دے گا۔ اس سے بارہ یسیہ نے اعتراف کیا کہ وہ غلط تھا۔ اس نے رضویہ کو تسلیم کیا اور اس نے کہا کہ معافی مانگی، لیکن شیلا کا خوف برڈز یا آن لائن میسیجز سے بالکل آگے نکل گیا۔ وہ پریشان تھی، کیا ہوگا اگر یسیہ ایک ریپر کے طور پر کامیاب ہو گیا اور اسے سفر کرنا پڑا۔ اس کے ذہن میں دوری سے خود بخود امکان پیدا ہو گیا تھا اور وہ اس پر بھروسہ نہیں کر سکتی تھی۔ جج نے اصل مسئلہ براہ راست سامنے کیا۔ شیلا کو عدم تحفظ ایک دن اس کے درکار باعث بن گئی اور اعتماد کے بغیر تعلقات کو نقصان پہنچا رہے گا۔ پھر بات پیسے کی طرف مڑ گئی۔ عیسیٰ نے انکشاف کیا کہ $20,000 کے معاہدے پر دستخط کیے ہیں اور اسے یقین ہے کہ ایک عدم تنخواہ سے تنخواہ کی نوکری کرنا اس کے منصوبوں میں فٹ نہیں ہے، لیکن جج نے جلدی اسے حقیقت واپس لے آئی۔ یسیہ 2 بچوں کا باپ تھا اور خواب اور عزائم اہم تھے، لیکن فوری ذمہ داریاں بھی تھیں۔ جج نے واضح کیا کہ جب بچوں کی خوراک اور مدد کی ضرورت ہوتی ہے تو والدین کو نیچے کوئی ایماندارانہ کام نہیں ہوتا، یہاں تک کہ کوئی واحد دستیاب ملازم $100 فی گھنٹہ ادا کرتی ہے، تب بھی اس کے بچوں کو فراہم کرنا پہلے آنا تھا۔ جج نے مشاورت کی سفارش کی، لیکن مانتے ہوئے جوڑے کے پاس بھی کام کرنے کے قابل ان کی ایک نئی بنیاد، لیکن صرف بنیاد کافی نہیں تھی۔ انہیں بہتر مواصلات، زیادہ اعتماد، حقیقت پسندانہ مالی منصوبہ بندی اور ایک ساتھ بڑھتے رہنے کی خواہش کو ظاہر کیا۔ شیلا نے کہا کہ وہ تبدیلیاں کرنے کو تیار ہے، وہ کام کرنے کے لیے تیار ہے۔ جب یسیہ نے اپنی موسیقی کا تعاقب کیا اور پہلی بار آگے بڑھنے کا ممکنہ راستہ اختیار کیا تو جج پر امید ہے اور دونوں نوجوان لیکن اگر انہوں نے ایک دوسرے کے خلاف مسلسل لڑنے کی بجائے مل کر منصوبہ بندی کرنا سیکھ لیا تو شادی کا موقع باقی تھا، کیونکہ یہ معاملہ حسد، آن لائن گفتگو، ریپر بننے کے خواب کے بارے میں نہیں تھا۔ یہ ایک نوجوان شادی کے بارے میں تھا جس کو مشکل حقیقت کا سامنا صرف محبت سے عدم تحفظ، مالی دباؤ اور مواصلات کی حل نہیں۔ شیلا اور سیا کے پاس ابھی موقع تھا، صرف اس کی صورتحال انہیں نئے خوف اور غلط فہمی کو الگ کرنے کی اجازت کی بجائے ایک ساتھ اپنا مستقبل بنانے کا فیصلہ انتخاب کرنا تھا۔ دوستو آج کی ایپیسوڈ کیسی لگی؟ اپنی قیمتی رائے کمنٹس میں ضرور دیجیے گا۔ ہیلو دوستو، کیسے ہیں آپ سب؟ امید ہے آپ سب خیریت سے ہوں گے۔ آج کا تیسرا کیس، کیمبرلی بمقابلہ مائیکل۔ جب کیمبرلی کمرہ عدالت میں چلی گئی تو ایسا لگتا تھا کہ برسوں کا غصہ، مایوسی ایک ہی وقت میں نکال رہی ہے۔ اس نے مائیکل پر جذباتی اور زبانی طور پر اس کے ساتھ بدسلوکی کا الزام لگایا۔ یہ دعویٰ کیا کہ اس نے اسے غیر جارحانہ ناکام پکارا ہے۔ مائیکل نے اس بیان کی تردید کی، اس کے بجائے اس نے دعویٰ کیا کہ کیمبرلی وہی ہے جو اسے مسلسل دھتکارتا رہا اور جب وہ خاموش رہا۔ جج نے فوری طور پر ایک ہی تعلق کے دو بالکل مختلف ورژن کا سامنا کرنا پڑا، اور یہ مسئلہ بڑا مسئلہ تھا۔ ان کی کہانیاں صرف میل نہیں کھاتی تھیں، لیکن جیسے ہی ان کی شادی کی تفصیلات سامنے آئی تو جج نے دریافت کیا کہ ان کے درمیان پریشانی اور کملہ عدالت میں پیشی سے بہت پہلے شروع کی ہو گئی تھی۔ کیمبرلی اور مائیکل ایک دوسرے کو مڈل اسکول میں جانتے تھے، پھر 18 سال بعد دوبارہ جڑ گئے۔ صرف 5 سال کے اندر ہی ان کی شادی ہو گئی۔ کیمبرلی نے اعتراف کیا کہ وہ چاہتی ہیں کہ مائیکل اس کا بزنس چارمنگ بنے۔ اس دوران مائیکل نے ایک بہت ہی مختلف وضاحت کی کہ اس نے شادی کیوں کی تھی۔ اس نے اعتراض کیا کہ انشورنس نے اس کے فیصلے میں کردار ادا کیا، اور دعویٰ کیا کہ جب کیمبرلی اپنے خاندان کے ساتھ چلی گئی تھی تو تعلقات انفرادی افراتفری سے بڑھ گئے تھے۔ جج نے فوراً نمونہ دیکھا، یادوں اور توقعات کی اس حقیقت کی شکل دینے کی اجازت دیتے ہوئے شادی میں پہنچ گئے تھے جس کا انہوں نے مکمل تجربہ نہیں کیا تھا۔ جو رومانس انہیں اپنے چھوٹے سالوں سے یاد تھا، اس نے ایک تصویر بنائی تھی اور ان کے خیال میں یہ رشتہ کیا ہو سکتا ہے، لیکن حقیقت بہت مختلف تھی۔ کیمبرلی نے شکایت کی کہ مائیکل اپنے گریجویشن کے دن میں جھگڑا شروع کر دیا اور وہ شرکت کرنے میں ناکام رہا۔ مائیکل نے کہا کہ وہ کام کر رہا ہے اور کیمبرلی توقع کر رہی تھی کہ وہ پورا دن اس کے ساتھ وقت گزارنے گی۔ جج کا جواب دو ٹوک تھا۔ کیمبرلی کی توقع غیر حقیقی تھی اور ایک کامل پرنس چارمنگ کی فینتاسی اور اسے مسلسل مایوسی کا شکار کر رہی تھی۔ پھر دلیل کیمبرلی کے اسٹائلنگ آلات کی طرف منتقل ہو گئی۔ اس نے دعویٰ کیا کہ مائیکل نے اسے کھو دیا ہے۔ مائیکل نے اصرار کیا کہ اس کا سامان واپس کر دیا ہے، کہا کہ کیمبرلی کی توقعات تھی کہ وہ اسے خاندانی کسی فرد کے گھر سے اٹھائے، اور ایک بار پھر جب صاحب نے وہی معاملہ دیکھا تو دونوں میں سے کوئی ایک دوسرے کو نہیں سمجھتا تھا اور مالی تنازع بھی مختلف نہیں تھا۔ کیمبرلی نے $2000 کا مطالبہ کیا اور اسے مائیکل نے کو دیا، لیکن مائیکل نے دعویٰ کیا کہ یہ رقم کریڈٹ کارڈ اکاؤنٹ پر رکھی گئی تھی اور کیمبرلی دماغ غلط استعمال کرنے سے پہلے رسائی دی گئی تھی۔ جج نے پہچان لیا کہ جس نظر انداز کرنا ممکن ہو گیا تھا، ان کے درمیان کوئی اعتماد باقی نہیں رہا تھا۔ آخرکار جج نے دونوں کو ایک سخت پہ سنایا۔ کیمبرلی اپنے غیر حقیقت پسندانہ توقعات کا مقابلہ کرنے کی ضرورت تھی، اور جب توقعات پوری نہیں ہوئیں تو اس نے جس طرح سے رد عمل کی ظاہر کیا، مائیکل کو ایک بہترین روحانی ساتھی کی تلاش تھی۔ کہ تصور کو چھوڑنے اور یہ قبول کرنے کی ضرورت تھی کہ ایک مثالی شبیہ کی بنیاد پر شادی جلد کرنے سے ان کے مسائل پیدا کرنے میں مدد ملے جن کا وہ سامنا کر رہے ہیں۔ مشاورات کی سفارش کی گئی۔ کیمبرلی کو اپنے غصے اور جذباتی تحفظ پر کام کرنے کی ضرورت تھی۔ مائیکل کو زیادہ حقیقت پسندانہ توقعات پیدا کرنے سے شادی اور اپنے کردار کی ذمہ داریاں لینے کی ضرورت تھی، کیونکہ وہ کسی ایسے چیز میں دوڑ گئے تھے جو ان میں سے کسی کو بھی صحیح معنوں میں سمجھ نہیں آئے، اور اب ان کے اندر دیکھنے کی بجائے وہ سب کچھ غلط ہونے کا الزام ایک دوسرے پر ڈال رہے تھے۔ آخرکار یہ صرف پیسے، جذباتی یا بدسلوکی الزام کا معاملہ نہیں تھا، غیر حقیقی توقعات، ٹوٹے ہوئے مواصلات اور دو لوگوں کے بارے میں تھا جنہوں نے اپنی پسند کے بارے میں بہت مختلف خیالات کے گرد شادی کی تھی۔ کیمبرلی ایک پریوں کی کہانی چاہتا تھا، ایسا لگتا تھا جیسے مائیکل سہولت چاہتا ہے، لیکن حقیقت میں ان میں کسی بھی وہ نہیں تھا جس بھی توقع کرتے تھے۔ جب تک وہ دونوں اس رشتے کا پیچھا چھوڑنے پر آمادہ نہیں ہوتے، انہوں نے تصور کیا تھا کہ ان رشتے کا سامنا کرنا شروع کر دیں، اور جس کا اصل تعلق تھا وہ اس سے مایوسی اور الزام کے اسی چکر میں پھنسے رہیں گے۔ دوستو آج کی ایپیسوڈ آپ کو ایسی لگی؟ ملتے ہیں نیکسٹ کیس میں۔ اپنی قیمتی رائے کمنٹس میں ضرور دیجیے گا۔